welcome to a team selection video for Game Week 24. And thank you to everyone who tuned in for the reaction stream the other day. I really appreciate it. And I did release a UCL fantasy video earlier, so check that out as well. And I'll be doing a team selection and live streams if you lot do want me to make that sort of content. But enough about that. Let's talk about how Game Week 23 went before we delve into Game Week 24. And pretty happy overall. I mean, I got 70 points, very small green arrow into the top 200k. And to be honest, I mean, I don't know. I think the captaincy decisions and also the decisions of who to leave on my bench have cost me a lot because, as I've said multiple times already, not too long ago I was around 60k and just haven't nailed the captaincy, haven't nailed some of these bench choices, and yeah, the misfortune continued in that regard. I left Calvert-Lewin on my bench with 12 points. Stones actually scored, but it got disallowed, and also the penalty which Salah converted. That obviously helped me because I didn't want Stones on my bench if that were to happen, if they kept a clean sheet, and I just needed Salah's points in general. So really, it was a decision in Game Week 23 to bench Gundogan or Calvert-Lewin, and I chose Gundogan, and there's literally nothing to split them, but Gundogan got more points despite the penalty miss. And really, if you look at my team, then I probably should have benched Grealish or Antonio, but who would have benched Antonio, who was a popular captaincy choice this week? And to be honest, I shouldn't have captained them. I should have stuck with what I had before, which was Bruno or Son, and they ended up being two of the highest scoring players. I probably wouldn't have captained Gundogan, so there's no point talking about that. But yeah, once again, last week I had Gundogan 8 points against Burnley, which isn't too bad to be fair to have on your bench, but still not ideal. And then the 15-pointer from Bamford against Leicester still haunts me. The fact that people had him second or third on their bench, he came on. In my case, I had him first and he didn't. But yeah, I mean, that game week was just a nightmare war anyway. But I look at my team overall, pretty happy. Martinez was quite fortunate not to concede the penalty when he grabbed Lacazette's shirt. And Aston Villa should have been down to 10 men, but FPL-wise, obviously, it benefited me, but I obviously wanted Arsenal to win, and I'm just tired of these refereeing decisions. As for my defence, though, Cancelo was very, very good against Liverpool, but yeah, no points to show for it, but it doesn't really matter. Soufal, I was pretty confident about him doing something, whether it's an assist or a clean sheet or whatever. He got the clean sheet. It's just very frustrating when you have Soufal compared to someone like Creswell, who gets the bonus points, he gets the assists and all of that. But either way, with the fixtures that West Ham have, I'm not interested in doing a sideways move from Soufal to Creswell. And I'm probably, if anything, going to get rid of Soufal. And I'm a bit more convinced about my next two moves in defence, definitely, especially after what happened in the Leeds game. Wan-Bissaka, I brought him in, got a lucky assist really because Bruno Fernandes did all the work. But Wan-Bissaka is just nailed in every competition that Manchester United play. Wan-Bissaka is playing. He's pretty much the only right back. That's why I got him in. Luke Shaw is the more exciting pick. But then again, one reason why I sway towards Wan-Bissaka is because Shaw got subbed off at half-time against Southampton, while Wan-Bissaka stayed on the pitch and ended up getting another assist and got the clean sheet, got the bonus points. And Luke Shaw, it's just he's protected, and it's understandable. He's got a bad injury record, and yeah, they've also got Tellers, so that's why I went with Wan-Bissaka. Happy to have him. Shaw also got an assist, so not too much difference between the two. Man United capitulated towards the end against Everton, and obviously from an FPL perspective, not ideal. Wan-Bissaka could have been on double digits if they kept the clean sheet. And as for my midfield, very happy. Bruno scored a wonder goal, and he was my captain in the team selection, but because of stats, because of a gut feeling, I went with Antonio. Unfortunately, it didn't pay off, but it is what it is. And Heung-min Son, I think one big reason why he scored and got double digits is because of Kane. Spurs look much better, and I think they already, in the first half they got more shots than they had in their previous 3 games at the same interval, so it just shows Kane is key. But even then, let's be real, Spurs were playing poor even when Kane was there towards maybe the last 2 or 3 games that Kane had before he got injured. So it's good to put that into perspective, but there's no doubt that without Son or Kane, Spurs are a completely different team, and they need both of them to be firing because the rest are pretty average. Gundogan is a wonderful performance, legendary. After the penalty miss, he more than made up for it in FPL terms. Salah got the penalty and he scored it, so very happy with him. No complaints there. Grealish Looking back on it now, maybe I should have benched him for Calvert-Lewin, but there's no way of knowing. On another day, maybe Grealish would be the one on 13, or 12, should I say, and then Calvert-Lewin's the one who blanks. So it is what it is. Bamford scored, could have had more goals. There was one where he intercepted the ball, did a great move, and then when he was through on goal, he just blasted it wide. And as for Antonio, the most disappointing player, and what kind of bothers me a bit is that, quite a lot of my attacking players are actually hauling, but I just somehow seem to choose the one who blanks. So I don't know if it's a skill or a curse, but whatever it is, I need to sort out my captaincy, especially with Game Week 24, which is a double game week for certain teams. And it's very important for me to do that, as well as have, a bench where I don't really regret having those players on the bench. But then when you look at Game Week 24 and how it is, I did make one transfer, and I made this very early on. I made this on the Saturday, I believe. I brought in Nick Pope for Forster. And there is a possibility that Forster comes in for McCarthy, but we'll have to wait and see there. And either way, not happy with Southampton at all. Kyle Walker-Peters is back, so they should improve, but there's just nothing at the moment I see from Southampton that makes me want to get any of their assets, even if they have a double in 26 and 27 on top of the one that they already have in 25. So I got in Nick Pope, and maybe not going to have a double in 26, but still, hopefully he does. He's got the double here, and probably one of the best captaincy choices. Some people are going for him, and it's understandable. He actually got double digits the last time he played Crystal Palace, so yeah, it's an interesting one, and Nick Pope is there. That means obviously I have Martinez on the bench for the first time this season, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. My defence, very happy with it. Wan-Bissaka away to West Brom. Cancelo and Stones both have 2 fixtures, although they're quite tough on paper. They're facing pretty, solid attacks. Hopefully one clean sheet at least, but I'm not sure. And I already discussed this in my reaction stream. I have a feeling that one of them might be benched in one of the games. I couldn't tell you who. I'm not Pep Guardiola, and I'm not going to try even attempt to second guess him. I just have a feeling that one of them might get benched, which will be very frustrating. But I'm not going to bench any of them. Sufa home to Sheffield. Sheffield are quite tough, and they're definitely not someone I would captain anyone against. I've already captained Salah against them. He blanked. Bruno Fernandes home and away. He blanked both times against Sheffield. So yeah, I'm not interested in that. But Sufal could get a clean sheet there. Sheffield are one of the worst attacks, if not the worst, in the league. So that's why I've gone for it. Grealish away to Brighton. Now, this is where it gets a bit tough, especially when you look at my bench, which I'll show you in a second. Brighton are one of the best defences at the moment. I think over the last few game weeks, they're second best, only behind Man City. What a surprise. But Chelsea also up there, to be fair. So it's a tough one. But Grealish and Aston Villa, they can haul against anyone. That's the thing. And I still think it's a decent fixture for Grealish. And also considering the fact that Brighton have a few injuries at the back, including Webster and Solly March, I believe. So they could be weakened there, despite that defensive improvement. So I am still tempted to play Grealish, but I wouldn't captain him or anything. Even if everyone had a solo game week, Grealish wouldn't even be under consideration for captaincy. But you know what? I still think it's worth playing him. Salah away to Leicester. This is where some people will be benching him. But then again, I just think he can haul against anyone. And if Liverpool bring in those centre-backs, move Henderson into the midfield, they can be so much better offensively. They just need that link in the midfield, and at the moment they don't have it. But yeah, against City they were decent for some spells of the game, but in the second half they just were outclassed, simple as that, and City always look more dangerous. They're the better team this season for sure. But Salah, still one of the best FPL assets, still gets a lot of points, but obviously for his price, you'd want him to be captaincy material every week, and at the moment I just can't bring myself to captain Salah, even if he can get the occasional haul. Bruno Fernandes, if it was just a solo game week for everyone, Bruno's the clear winner. He'd be my captain. I'd even consider triple captaining him. I think he can do extremely well in this fixture, especially with Pogba out for a few weeks. Bruno Fernandes does extremely well when Pogba is on the pitch, and I believe as soon as Pogba came off injured, Bruno scored. Although obviously it's a wonder goal, he can still score when Pogba's on the pitch, but still, Bruno Fernandes, very, very good. And Gundogan at the moment, currently my captain, and I have to say probably between them two, Calvert-Lewin, my City defenders and Pope for captaincy. I said this in the reaction stream, but still, I think it's between Gundogan or Bruno for me. Although Calvert-Lewin against Fulham at home is tempting, I just don't really expect too much in the second game. Probably just appearance points. And yeah, at the moment on Gundogan, just one of the best, or should I say the best expected goal involvements of any midfielder over the last 4, and even higher than Sterling. So he just looks like a great choice. He's nailed as well. Probably not as nailed as a Diaz or a De Bruyne or an Ederson, but just behind those 3, I'd say he's the most nailed City player, and he's just in exceptional form. I don't know if he's going to be on penalties anymore. It might be Ederson. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But if City do get a penalty, hopefully Gundogan is still on them and he actually scores this time. And as for my strikers, Antonio at home to Sheffield, I'll be honest, I'm not too confident about that. But then again, I wouldn't want to bench him. And when the fixtures turn, Antonio, despite how good he is as an FPL asset, I am actually considering getting rid of him. The fixtures are just too tough, and I can get Watkins, who has a double game week in 26, most likely. Although we'll have to wait and see what happens there. And Calvert-Lewin, my other striker. Yeah, I mean, he's a captaincy option despite the City fixture. Although I'm not going to go there. And when you look at my bench, Martinez in goal. Son, Bamford and Mitchell. That's a really, really good bench, to be honest. Mitchell actually played in the last game. He could even keep a clean sheet against Burnley. This is even, I don't know about bench boost worthy, but it could get 10 to 20 points easily, and there's not much I can do. But I'm going to save that for Game Week 26, I believe. The fixtures, not very good, but Son has an amazing record against City, and Bamford can do something against Arsenal, no doubt about it. But I just believe Wan-Bissaka, Grealish, the ones that probably are fighting for those spots with Son and Bamford, I would just probably go for Wan-Bissaka and Grealish. But this team is subject to change. We'll have to wait and see. But at the moment, this is what I've gone with. And if there are any injuries during the FA Cup, then yeah, Son, Bamford, Mitchell, whatever can come in. So yeah, should be pretty good. But yeah, the FA Cup is going to be very important. The results will determine who will blank in Game Week 29 and who's going to be likely to have a double Game Week in 26. So very, very important the next few days, and we'll have to wait and see what happens. But very happy with this team overall. And yeah, there's not much I would change. And in terms of transfer plans, as I alluded to earlier, yeah, Soufal when the fixtures turn, I think he could make way for Dallas, and Mitchell to Justin, especially if Leicester go through in the FA Cup. They beat Brighton and then they have a double in 26. Justin will definitely come in that case, no doubt about it. And then yeah, as I already said, Dallas for Game Week 25, he'll have a double, and he just looks so good against Palace, and rightfully so, got the 3 bonus points. And Dallas, Bamford, Rafinha look very, very good for Game Week 25. After that, yeah, it's kind of mixed bag, but still, so much attacking potential there. And that's my team. Let me know how your team is looking down in the comment section below. And what do you think of my team? Who is going to be your captaincy? And I imagine a lot of them will be on City attackers, including Sterling and Gundogan. And if not, Bruno's still very popular. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Nick Pope, a City defender. Apart from that, anyone else would be a differential, and there will be players that haul that we don't expect, maybe Rashford against West Brom, but I'm not so sure. I think it's very important to go for the reliability, and that's why at the moment I'm going for Gundogan or Bruno. We'll have to wait and see. Hopefully I finally land that captaincy right. That will really help with my rank. And yeah, just looking forward to getting some of these differentials, although they might not be in a week or so's time, like Dallas. Around my rank, he would be very, very helpful if he does well in Game Week 25. But that's looking further ahead. It's important to look at now and what we can do. I've already made my transfer. I most likely won't make another. And yeah, I'm very happy with this team. But thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, smash the like button and subscribe if you're new. There's going to be more content every single week for FPL and UCL Fantasy, so I really appreciate it. And all the best of luck for Game Week 24. Enjoy the FA Cup and enjoy the Premier League. Also Champions League coming next week. There's a lot of football. So yeah, we just have to wait and see what happens. But football is just completely unpredictable right now. So it's good to keep our mind open and our options open too. So thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.